Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I'm Hamza Idris. The lingering royal rumble in Kano State and the alleged attempt by the Sokoto State government to depose the Sultan of Sokoto and chairman of the Sultanate Council, His Eminence Alhaji Saad Abubakar, has further exposed the vulnerability of the age-long custodians of both culture and heritage of the people. While the Sokoto State government continued to deny plans to weaken the strength of the revered religious and cultural institution of Sokoto Caliphate, the direct involvement of the executive branch of government in Kano State remained huge concern among Nigerians, promoting wide-range condemnation of the excessive interference by the state executive. The call for restraint and preservation of these cultural and religious embodiments by prominent people like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the Muslim rights concern, Murik, among others, has underscored the imperative of rising against the executive show of power. It is against this backdrop we'll be engaging with a professor of Sociology of Law and Criminology, Uthman University, Sokoto, Professor Uthman A. Abdulqadir. He joins us via Zoom from Birnin Kebbi, the capital of Kebbi State. We'll also be taking a look at the state of the nation with the President General of the Obedience Movement, Honorable Ikenna Azomchine, who joins us via Zoom from Germany to speak on the current governance trajectory in the country. Prof, welcome to the program.
I'm delighted to be here.
We're happy having you. And how is the weather in Sokoto? Let's start in Birnin Kebbi, yes, in Birnin Kebbi, yes.
Fine. Today there's a light rain.
MashaAllah.
Light shower.
Okay. Oh, there was shower. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, a sign of good things to come, especially for the farmers. Now, you have had the introductory part of the program. Yes, what is your take on all what has been happening in the last 3 weeks or thereabout, especially in Kano? Let's start from Kano before we move to Sokoto. Yes.
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation considering northern Nigerian religion, politics, economy and society. If you look at northern Nigeria, particularly in the northwest, now we are level to be one of the most backward region in the whole world in terms of HDI index, in terms of any parameter they will take for development, in terms of level illiteracy, out of school children, almajiri system, whatever. So in going like this, issue of politics, governance and politics becoming an issue. Instead of, we know that what is supposed to be a politics should be as a sort of mazia, as a source of need. That means politics and governance leadership supposed to come to bring about growth, peace, prosperity, and social order. But what is happening in Kano now is a very unfortunate situation in which even the Hausa adage is saying there will be no two rulers or kings at the same time. But unfortunately now in Kano we are witnessing this very ugly scenario. And it will not be good for the long traditional institution in Kano, northern Nigeria, and then the Muslim society in general. You find that now the area yes, violence in Kano is said to be a playing ground by the two giant politicians in Kano. If you take them to the Konkoso and now mediated by the federal government, and then also another figure or perhaps interfere of the government, whereby they are given a very two contradictory judgment in
Yes, now you're talking about contradictory judgment. You are actually a professor of sociology of law and criminology, meaning you have a fairer understanding of what is really at play. Ordinarily, people will assume that the problem even after taken to the law courts, should be resolved within a week or thereabout. Why do you think there is this delay back and forth from the sociological perspective?
The major challenge for the legal evaluation that the essence of politics, right from Aristotle to Plato to death, the essence of it is to provide need, necessity for the growth of every society. So the problem, you find that here we are. Politics is being played in a traditional institution, a religion, and not even in court. Because if there is no politics in how can a single issue case, but giving two contradictory judgments by two judges in one case? Therefore, you find that this court is giving a judgment in favor of this, and then this one is also repudiating what this ones had done. So now you find that the political scenario, how politics now appeared in almost all our lives, and then also instead of us to have progress and stability, now we are witnessing stagnation and then retardation in our societal development.
All right. Now, before I go back to Kano, let's move to Sokoto. What do you think is really happening? You can see the government is saying, no, we are not planning to, tamper with the revered throne of the Sultan. And today, as we speak, we are in possession of an affidavit by two of the district heads, precisely Alhaji Buhari Dahiru Tambol and Alhaji Abubakar Kasim. They have dragged the state government, asking the court to restrain it, including the State House of Assembly, from dethroning them.
Yes.
Now, by extension, it's like from dethroning the Sultan, because if 15 or more district heads are facing this serious existential problem, it means the Sultan is not safe. What is your take on this?
It's another very unfortunate situation, and the situation is very untimely in the sense that they did not look at the political scenario and environment and even the situation that is happening in Kano, which many people are afraid that it will happen in Sokoto. Now, the genesis of these cases began when this government with the coming of this government. What happened is when they came, the last civilian administration has named 4 institutions after the Sheikh Abdullah Fodio, which is the genius brother of Al-Fodio, who are the triumvirate of the Sokoto Caliphate. They named university under his name. And then Sultan Muhammad Machido, Sokoto State University Teacher Hospital was named after him. Then Sultan Ibrahim Suki's name was named after College of Education Sokoto, and Haja Balaraba Buddha and Sheikh Shadai. So, these 4 giant people, which tantamount to many people are saying is a denomination to be carried over to the Sultanate. Secondly, also, they come as an allegation on 27 tribes rulers in Sokoto, which led to perhaps sacking or perhaps relegating traditional title to certain traditional rulers in Sokoto. So, second thing, and then now the third one is sending people certain in the Sokoto House of Assembly that in terms, okay?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, the other aspect of it is there was this allegation, yes, Prof. There was this allegation that the incumbent governor, yes, is actually trying to undo some of the recognitions done by the former governor, Tambuwal. Could that be true? That, yes, of course, Tambuwal appointed some district heads that were not there. This was what we had. Is that true? And then this governor is now trying to reverse some of those policies.
So one of the genesis, one, it is the same Tambuwal's government that remain those institutions, and then these traditional rulers. So reviving those realms and the traditional institution, traditional rulers is one of the major issues that brought about this. But what the main concern for many, not only in Sokoto, but fighting Nigeria, and what is transcending on the ground is this law that is sent to the Sokoto State House of Assembly in terms of relegating some of the powers of the Sultan in terms of appointment, discipline, dismissal. So, by then, many people have a very language that maybe is just a sign that yes, the way there's a kind exit is one of the process that maybe for the position of this present Sultan. So that's why many people feel fear and frenzy that maybe what happened to Kano is now moving to Sokoto. So many people have a fear that maybe there is a political motive or there is some situation on that bill. So they find it difficult to understand that maybe there is some motive in that bill. So when this is passed, it becoming which means they are moving to the detriment of the Sultan. So this is what makes people to be apprehensive, and that's why you find other organizations showing that the Sultan of Sokoto is not only a political leader, but is also spiritual and Islamic leader for the whole Muslim of Nigeria. So it's not like the area of Kano and other areas. So this is what make people to react based on their going on, and maybe this is what Sokoto State government react. And apart from that also, I want to add, the vice president came to Sokoto immediately in one day after Salah. And he had been cautioning or drawing attention of the governor that on the position of the Sultan, that the Sultan of Sokoto is not only a political traditional ruler, but is also spiritual leader of the Jamaatul Muslimin and the Supreme Council Affairs of Islam. Because there's a scenario that happened during the Eid prayer. This is the first time almost 4 hours Sultan is waiting for the governor. He didn't come for the prayer. So that's why that informed what the vice president of Nigeria, sure about to come to Sokoto to run or perhaps to draw the attention of the government. Also, another issue is last week, he went to Katina for a summit. And at the same time, he is also facing the same judgment. And he's there in the capacity of acting in the capacity of acting for the president of Nigeria, still warning and then drawing attention that the Sultan political and spiritual position in Nigeria. So that all these things is what brought about the present involvement of the original Sokoto.
Exactly. And then the wise people say there is no smoke. I mean, there is no fire without smoke, if I get it right. Have you heard of an allegation that the governor and government of Sokoto State, they are not on the same page with the Sultan because they feel that he is more in tune with the PDP, by extension Tambuwal and others, rather than being extremely loyal or completely loyal to the APC government and the incumbent governor. Have you heard of that? And do you think that could be true?
Well, this is what is happening since 2019. It's happening since 2019. And you find that allegation, conception, or misconception, or whatever you can think it. So people have been making that statement. Yes, and maybe because of the cordial relationship between the Sultan and the former Governor Tambol, they have a very mutual respect, mutual working relationship up to the time that he finished his second term and left. Maybe that could also have that. So whatever you take, this issue has political dimension. No matter what. It has political dimension, and this is what people fear, that everything may happen.
Okay, now from the perspective of law and then preservation of the traditional institution, where do you think we got it wrong? Because we know that a revered stool like that of Sultan has clearly defined ethics, responsibilities, modes of succession, and all that. Now that the State House of Assembly is trying to take over some of these powers from the Sultan and the Sultanate, what do you think will happen if this ultimately succeeds?
Well, many people don't want it to happen because of the tension that is going in Kano, repercussion in northern Nigeria and the Muslim of Nigeria or Africa or West Africa in general. The position of Sultan is spiritual, and we will not know the value of the Sultan until something happens. Because look at it, even this sighting of moon, the role the Sultan is playing, even the sighting of moon, ensuring that there is unity, cohesion on the Muslim Ummah. And then even the mutual coexistence between the Muslim and non-Muslim in Nigeria. We want that the authority should look at it in this way. It's not the Sultan, it's the institution. Sultanate is an institution. It's not just a traditional title. It's an institution which is instituted for more than 200 to 300 years, going back to the leadership leadership led by Uthman and the rest. So it is an empire or a caliphate that has 38,000 square miles, including about 5 countries: Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Senegal, and part of Cameroon, and almost northern Nigeria, and some part of southern part of Nigeria. So looking at this for stability, for harmony, and then for the mutual existence, which we need. And the authority should be for what? Protection and preservation of order, stability, and harmony. This should be the cardinal principle of every political, of every government, whether military, whether civilian administration, whatever government. The essence is to leave kids to have growth, progress, and prosperity. I'm looking at the Sokoto state now, being almost 4 times, looking at the most poorest status in the country. I think the government need to focus on socio-economic and political development of the people. Look at it, we have a problem of insurgency, there is issue of IDPs, we have problem of evangelism, we have problem of youth, lack of future, detention and other things. These things need to be focused. Then look at it also. The state government comes a rare agenda. When they have gone, even not agenda has been succeeded. So I think that they focus on the 3 years so that see if they can able to achieve this agenda. I think it should be the main thing so that we have peace, progress, and stability.
Some people believe that if you put the northern traditional rulers on one hand, and then you take traditional rulers, especially in the southwestern part of Nigeria, dominated by the Yoruba, you realize that the traditional rulers there are more fortified. They are more protected by certain laws. Will you recommend? Will you recommend those kind of laws in northern Nigeria that will immune the traditional institution from unwarranted attacks and meddlesomeness by the political class?
That is a very good move. But the best thing is should go beyond law. We need to revive our socio-cultural values. Our values is more than the law itself. Because now, look at it, it is not the law, but look at the way people have come out to protect that institution in their own. So it's not about the law also only, but if you look at the society, the way society regards the traditional institution, that makes it what it is. And that is coming down to what Abdulqadir is talking about. Issue of values. If the people value it, there is no politician or any other political position that will come and bastardize it. It is about the people and the people. And even the Yoruba language are saying it's more of the way they value their traditional institution more than the law itself. So it's not about the law only. It is about the way people divide, the way they respect it, the way they and respect and value it. So the way people value their culture, their tradition, their custom, norms and values is more than anything you can think of.
Okay, I want you maybe in a word or two to advise maybe the traditional institution. As a professor, what they should do, the traditional institution in the north, in order to also up their game in terms of protecting their image and the tools they represent.
Well, let me go back to the jihad leaders themselves. And down to the to Budaji, the traditional rulers or traditional institution need to go out to the beasts. What about the caliphate down to the Sultan now? Is just Islamic traditional values: honesty, sincerity, truthfulness, code of conduct. And then they should try to protect their integrity. And at the same time, also, they should not be allowed any politician or a governor or any political leader to use them. Nobody, Nelson Rice, I don't know how he tried as much as possible to protect the Sultanate. So, not only the Sultanate, I am calling on not only the traditional ruler, all the princes. Don't allow any political leader or any executive member to use it to destroy your house. As during what Prof Center around the Suki told one of the traditional ruler that let them not allow you to destroy your house. Because if you put your house in the destruction of your family, that thing will not only hit you, it will also tell you so much on the future. And this is what is happening in Kano, because some of them were allowed to be used to destroy. And this one and now. So I'm calling for all the places where all the traditional women, they should think that they think. They need to rethink and have a partnership. And let's say in Kano, and now to Samuel and Sokoto should serve as a lesson, not only for today, but for the future generation yet among.
All right, thank you very much, Professor. We thank you for your perspective on this serious problem, and we hope to have you some other time. That was Professor, Uthman A. Abdulqadir, a professor of Sociology of Law and Criminology, Usman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto.